Well, now we're doing the review for section 2-5, and question 1 asks us to solve for x in each of these equations. So we know this: if the bases are alike, we can equate exponents. So this is 4 times 2 to the x minus 5 equals, and I can write 64 in terms of 4, and that's 4 to the third power. So now bases are identical. We can equate exponents. So 2x minus 5 equals 3. Adding 5 to both sides, we get 2x equals 8. Dividing both sides by 2, we get x equals 4, and that one's done. Now let's do the next. So, I see, the bases are already identical, so we can just go ahead and equate the exponents. Equals 2x plus 3. Now subtracting 2x and 3 from both sides, we get x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. And this factors, and x, and I need a 3 and a 1, and who gets the negative? The 3 does, and this guy gets the positive. If we FOIL that out, we'll have this. So what value of x will take this factor to 0, negative 1? What value of x will take this factor to 0? 3 will. And so we've solved both of those equations. Now we're doing question 2, and on the interval negative 1 to 5, and we have to graph label the intercepts and endpoints. Okay, so let's look at the endpoints. So we're going to look at y of negative 1. That means we have 2e, and letting x be negative 1, we'll have a negative 1 minus 2, and there's a plus sign there, which equals 2 plus e to the minus 3. And when I calculate that, it equals approximately 2.05. Doing the same thing for y equals 5, or excuse me, y of 5. This equals 2 plus, and replacing x with 5, I get 2 plus e to the third, and when I calculate that, I get that equals approximately 22.1. And finally, I want to look at the, there are no x-intercepts, but there will be a y-intercept. And so the y-intercept is, got to look at y of 0. So that'll be 2 plus e to the 0 minus 2, which equals 2 plus e to the minus 2, which equals approximately 2.14. So now let's graph and label. And let's say that's 10, 20, okay. 20, 10, and let's deal with this. I want to go minus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So at minus 1, we are at 2.05. So that's going to be about right there. Minus 1, 2.05. And we're labeling now. And at 0, we're going to be at 2.14. Okay, 0 and 2.14. And at 5, we're going to be at 22.1. Okay, about right there. Okay, 5 and 22.1. This is X and Y. So now let's draw the graph. And there, we've got it. And we've labeled the endpoints and the y-intercept.